Hey guys, very good morning. Fabio here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, of course, the dollar index alongside the major dollar pairs. So let's see what is going on in these charts. By the way, big announcements coming up in the Discord server. Make sure to join if you're not in yet. Link is in the description down below, completely free, so make sure to be there. Without further ado, let's dive straight in. So looking at the dollar index, what we can currently see is that we made a beautiful retracement up in towards the highs. So as you guys can see, we did in fact reach that 618 Fibonacci level. However, we did start moving higher. So there's people who simply trade 618 plus support and resistance got stopped out most likely because often they set their stop loss on the next fib level. So for now, what can we expect? Well, some further downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting that. Looking at the 4 hour, what we can see is that we have some liquidity situated over here. So let's see if we can see a pullback into there and then potentially see a push higher or a push further down in towards the lows. So still lots of confluences for the downside, however also lots of confluences for further upside. As we can see, this rally base drop zone over here has been reacting or has seen a reaction to it, especially with the 4 hour area of supply also being in there. And as you guys can see, we moved up in towards 4 hour supply, filled that clean move and are now rejecting that area of 4 hour supply. Even saw a fake out on the swing high over here. As you guys can see, this is a swing high just before this minor clean move that we have situated over here. Fake out on that and then seeing more downside. So for now, just going to be waiting till the dollar index moves back down in towards liquidity, and from here I'm going to see if we're going to see any support forming or if we just decided to crash down further in towards the lows. So yeah, that's pretty much it from the dollar index. Quickly going back to the daily one more time. Daily is still at that minus 618 Fibonacci extension of the daily fib. So let's see if this is our ABC to then crash down. Of course, like I said yesterday, probability is still pretty low as we have not seen any break of structure. Until this low has not been broken, we are still bullish. So we need to break that low until I see bearish confirmation for the dollar index. So without further ado, let's dive into our first pair, which is Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar, guys. So Aussie dollar crashed through that area of support, which I mentioned yesterday. Let me just dive in towards the 1 hour for you guys. So as you guys can see, support got broken over here, has now created a new lower low in comparison to that previous low. So trend is now bearish. So what are we currently looking for? Well, I am going to be looking for a potential short in towards the lows. However, we still do need to respect these highs. We might see a fake out on this swing high over here at 0.73038. However, I would prefer us just to see a reaction from this zone. This is a zone that I mentioned yesterday. This is supply and there is liquidity situated in it. As you can see, it is a basing candle, and yet this evening or last night at approximately 3 a.m. My time, so Asian session, excuse me, we did see a reaction back down in towards the lows from that 786 and from this area of supply. However, I do not trade the Asian session, so no short for me. At the moment, just going to be waiting until we see a further reaction in towards the lows. Very curious to see if we see any bearish selling pressure come in. Maybe at the beginning of the London session we can start seeing further downside. However, further downside does mean that the dollar index has to start moving up higher, and would mean that the dollar index would not reach that area of demand which I mentioned earlier. So let's see what happens, guys. Wouldn't be surprised if we do start moving a little bit higher, take out the highs and then start moving down lower. So let's just wait and see. Further downside is still favorable, back down in towards 0.71451. So yep, that is Aussie dollar for you guys. Let's head over to our first pair, or our second pair, excuse me, which is euro dollar. And euro dollar, guys, so I did an interesting finding on euro dollar on the weekly time frame, and that is in fact that we have the minus 27 fib extension on this fib move over here. So that is now acting as support alongside this lower trend line, excuse me, of the overall channel slash wedge which we are currently situated in. So I'm very curious to see if we can find some support over here. Wouldn't be surprised if we do, would be nice in fact. Then maybe see a push higher, a reaction from these areas of liquidity, or even a push higher back up in towards this high over here at around 1.195 something, close to 1.20. So that is definitely still a possibility. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that happen. However, of course, structure is still very bearish, so we still need a lot of confirmation for that to happen. I'm only going to be taking these kind of longs once we start breaking out of this trend line, and then I will be looking to long this. So boom, boom, and then boom, back up in towards these areas of liquidity situated over here. So let's see if that happens, guys. Still need to wait for a trend switch because there is no real liquidity or easy liquidity to trade from. So for me, it's just a waiting game until then. So with that said, pound dollar is next. And pound dollar. So pound dollar saw a nice short opportunity further in towards the downside, or at least it saw a nice downside back down in towards the lows. So now we have a 4-hour supply situated over here in the form of a drop, a base, a drop. Broke structure, so we are now essentially bearish on pound dollar. Only fact is that we still missed this area of supply within the market, which is kind of sad to see, but yeah, it is what it is. You can't always get what you want. So for now, let's just see what happens. Over here we have some supply situated. So this is 1-hour supply, not stacked with 4-hour supply, and up above over here we have 4-hour supply. So let's see if we make it up until there. We could also just see a fake out on this high and react to this area of supply, but I want to see what happens once we push a little bit higher. We also kind of have like this channel over here, or wedge. So let's see if we see some channel or wedge maturement, maybe squeeze up in towards the highs and then see a further push down in towards the lows. So that is opportunity 1. Of course, we are bearish on 4-hour and daily and on 1-hour as well. So let's see if we react to that 4-hour liquidity. Of course, guys, it is still more favorable if we push up higher because those areas are stronger liquidity, as that is stacked with the daily area of supply. But this is kind of like our short opportunity number 1. Short opportunity number 2 will come if we reach higher price levels. So that is pound dollar. Let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar also broke structure, guys. So as we can see, we retraced or pushed perfectly in towards that 1-hour area, which I mentioned in yesterday's video. So for now, what am I waiting for? Well, I want to see this happen. So this is our 1, 2, 3, and now I'm waiting for that 4 and then 5 in towards that area of daily demand. So for now, just waiting for a little bit of a higher retracement. Kiwi dollar kind of saw the same as pound dollar. We have some imbalance over here where we reacted to. However, this is not stacked supply, so therefore not really strong. So for now, just waiting for higher price levels to get met, approximately 0.69529 until shorts can be identified. So let's wait and see, guys, if we move up higher, and then a possible short will come in our hands back down in towards lows, in towards that area of daily demand at 0.68305. So let's head over to our last pair, which is gold. And gold has been a little bit of a hard one / tricky one yesterday, guys. I was looking for a potential short, but never really took it just because I wasn't really behind the charts yesterday, as you guys might have mentioned. Was waiting for that short to occur. Didn't really happen. So for now, it's looking like a little bit more upside is going to occur. I would still favor 1733 to get hit. So I'm just going to be waiting and seeing what's going to be happening next from this price region. Maybe another fake out on the swing high of 1765, then potentially some more downside. But yeah, for now, it is just a waiting game. I would still love 1733 to get hit once again. So let's just wait and see if we see maybe some scalps happen. For now, not that much to be said, in my opinion. We're coming in towards this basing structure over here, which is a possible area of supply. So we could see a reaction from this rally, base, drop. So let's see, guys, maybe a scalp on the lower time frame, and then potential entries on the 5-minute or the 50-minute. So keep your eyes out. 5-minute structure is being broken, however, at the moment. As you guys can see, we are breaking, this trend line. So now what you could see is a potential push back, then a push up, but I'm just favoring shorts because I want to see 1733 get hit. So I'll just be waiting for something like this, and then a further short with this structure break over here. Let's say we get a pullback, then a double top, then a push down, then I will be looking for shorts. Okay, guys, so that was it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a very pleasant day. Make sure to join Discord server in the description down below, and speak to you all very soon.